In the quiet hum of a Parisian evening, amidst the golden glow of streetlights and the vibrant chatter of an art exhibition, a single mosaic caught everyone's eye. It wasn't just the art's intricate patterns or its desert-inspired colors that held people spellbound, it was the artist herself, Layla Adebayo. Little did she know, as she stood by her work, that this night would change the course of her life forever. Layla's pieces, inspired by the timeless beauty of Nigerian architecture, drew the attention of Ethan Clark, a reserved yet brilliant British architect. He stood in silence, captivated not just by the art but by the aura of its creator. Her mosaic of a traditional Yoruba village at sunset seemed alive, whispering stories of resilience and heritage. Beautiful, isn't it? Layla's warm voice broke the spell. Ethan turned, finding himself equally mesmerized by her vibrant presence. They began talking, their conversation flowing effortlessly as though they had known each other for years. Over time, their connection deepened. Ethan began frequenting the gallery where Layla worked, offering his perspective on her designs and seeking her advice on integrating Nigerian elements into his projects. Layla's passion for preserving her heritage aligned with Ethan's vision of blending the old with the new. It wasn't long before their friendship blossomed into love. On a chilly evening, Ethan took Layla to a rooftop overlooking the Seine. The city lights reflected in her eyes as she spoke about her dreams of building a mosaic school in Lagos. Ethan listened intently, his hands nervously gripping a small velvet box in his pocket. "Layla," he began, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "You've opened my eyes to a world I never knew I needed. I can't imagine my life without you." He pulled out the box, revealing a delicate emerald ring surrounded by tiny diamonds. "Will you marry me?" Layla's eyes filled with tears as she whispered, "Yes." The rest of the evening felt like a dream. As they walked hand in hand along the Seine, Ethan couldn't help but think about the challenges ahead, especially introducing Layla to his conservative family in England and her own family back in Nigeria. Back in Lagos, Layla's aunt, Folktale Adebayo, was busy preparing for a local wedding when Layla arrived to share her news. Nneka, who had raised Layla after her parents' tragic death in a car accident, was a traditionalist. She took pride in their Yoruba heritage and had always envisioned Layla marrying a local man. When Layla revealed her engagement, Folek's smile faded. "A foreigner," she said sharply. "How can this be? Our ways are sacred, Layla. How will he understand our traditions?" Layla tried to explain Ethan's love for Nigerian culture, but Folek's disapproval was evident. "This is not the life I wanted for you," she said before leaving the room. Despite her aunt's reaction, Layla remained hopeful. She invited Ethan to Lagos, determined to show Folek the man she loved. Ethan, nervous but eager to make a good impression, arrived a week later, immersing himself in local customs and traditions. Together, they explored the markets, the National Museum, and the beaches, all while preparing for his introduction to Folek. On the day Ethan met Folek, tension filled the air. Layla had coached Ethan on the proper greetings, and he had practiced saying "the cousin" with the correct intonation. Folek greeted him with a stiff nod, her sharp eyes scrutinizing every detail. Over dinner, she asked pointed questions about his family, his work, and his intentions with Layla. Ethan answered respectfully, emphasizing his admiration for Nigerian culture and his commitment to Layla. But Folek's icy demeanor didn't waver. After the meal, Folek pulled Layla aside. He seems polite, she admitted, but politeness won't preserve our traditions. You should marry someone who understands your roots. Layla's heart sank, but she refused to give up. Determined to win Folek's approval, Layla and Ethan hosted an engagement celebration at a local event center. Layla prepared a menu that fused Nigerian and British cuisines, jollof rice with roasted lamb, pounded yam with spiced vegetables, and scones with mango jam. Folek attended reluctantly, her skepticism evident. During the celebration, she served Ethan palm wine laced with a mild irritant, hoping to embarrass him. Ethan, though visibly uncomfortable, maintained his composure and praised the drink. Guests whispered about his grace under pressure, and Folek's plan backfired. Folek's disdain began to waver after a conversation with the village elder, who reminded her that love could unite even the most different of people. Slowly, she began to see Ethan's genuine respect for their culture. One evening, Folek visited Layla and handed her an heirloom, a beaded necklace crafted by Layla's late mother. "If you are certain about this," she said, "then take this as my blessing." Layla's eyes filled with tears as she hugged her aunt. The wedding took place in a serene village setting outside Lagos. Guests from both cultures came together, marveling at the blend of traditions. Layla wore a handcrafted lace gown with intricate embroidery, while Ethan donned a tailored agbada. The ceremony featured Nigerian rituals, including the wine-carrying ceremony, alongside a British-style exchange of vows. As the sun set behind the palm trees, Layla and Ethan promised to honor each other's cultures and love. After the wedding, Ethan and Layla returned to Lagos to start a design studio that combined Nigerian artistry with modern architecture. Their work gained international acclaim, attracting clients from around the world. Folek, once skeptical, became their biggest supporter. She introduced them to local artisans and even contributed her own designs to their projects. Her pride in their success grew, and she found joy in seeing Layla's dreams come true. A year later, Layla and Ethan welcomed a baby girl, whom they named Amina. Folek, holding her great niece for the first time, whispered a blessing in Yoruba. She marveled at how love had bridged their worlds. Their story became a symbol of unity in Lagos, inspiring others to embrace love and tradition in harmony. The beaded necklace Folek had given Layla found a place of honor in their home, its presence a reminder of the bonds that tied them together. Layla and Ethan continued to thrive, their studio expanding to include workshops for young artists. Their tale of resilience and love echoed across cultures, proving that even in the face of doubt and tradition, love could create something extraordinary. Years later, Ethan and Layla's studio evolved into a community hub, offering free art lessons to children from underprivileged communities in Lagos. They established an annual festival celebrating Nigerian-British cultural fusion, which brought artists from both regions together. Folek, now fully embracing their union, became a frequent guest speaker at the studio's workshops. She shared stories of her own upbringing and her late sister's passion for art, which she saw reflected in Layla. As their daughter Fatima grew, she became a talented artist in her own right. The beaded necklace, now passed to Amara, became a symbol of the family's legacy of love, resilience, and cultural harmony.